can pull them to the side and say, man, you're doing a great job. Here's our end goal. And what you're doing is already helping us reach our end goal. That's if it goes in a positive direction. If it goes in a bad direction, you got to pull that person to the side and sit them down and say, all right, look, here are your expectations. Here's what gets you fired. Here's what keeps you hired. My apologies for not giving that to you from get-go. Because you can't punish them for what they don't know. Mm-hmm. Because that's on you as a leader. Yeah. So you can say, here, going forward, these are the standards you need to meet. These are the expectations. This is what I expect. Now, if they violate anything of that, then okay, you gotta act accordingly. But if it's on the leader, if the leader doesn't establish what the vision is.
Sneakers, cars, leadership. Sneakers, cars, leadership. Atlanta. Built different. Legacy moves. A podcast that goes into the essential leadership skills needed to excel in both personal and professional life. Hosted by me, Drae Hubb. This podcast offers insightful conversations on how to be an impactful leader of self and others through influence. We will draw from diverse experience and backgrounds to provide practical advice and engage in discussions on a wide range of topics. Sneakers, Cars, and Leadership promises to be an engaging and informative podcast that equips listeners with the tools and insights needed to lead effectively in all areas of life.
Welcome back to Sneakers, Cars, and Leadership. I'm your host, Drae Hubb, and we're doing another episode of Cultural Case Studies. And this is a moment that we're going to dive into the leadership behind different moments. So let's be honest. A lot of relationships don't fail because people don't care. They fail because nobody actually are leading with clarity, no direction, no real communication, and no expectations, just vibes. And that's how you and the connections with no alignment ends up failing. And today we're going to dive into Love Jones. Not just a love story, but just a case study as we dive into communications, expectations, and just responsibilities. And I got Coach Mike with me again.
What's going on?
And the shoes I'm going to talk about, I just got these. They Loso Cloud slides. These things are so comfortable, really smooth to slide in, just go and do what I got to do. A ride. There's convertible, Saline Mustang. I'm a Ford guy. I love a Mustang, love a fast car. Okay. Love a convertible, very powerful V8. Loud vehicle, really clean. What about you? What you got, Coach?
So for the shoes, I just got one word: Prestos. Man, when those came out, I don't know what Nike was thinking, but whoever created that, they made a lot of money. I had a black pair with a silver P, and I got them in high school. Man, they were comfortable. They were so easy to just slip on, slip off. And I mean, they were black. So they went with just about anything I had. So I love those. In the car I'm going to talk about, man, don't know the year, but I'll just say the 90s Porsche, the black one, the one that Will Smith had in Bad Boys, the first Bad Boys. Yeah. I love that car. And I remember in the movie, he said it was like $100. The car cost about $108,000. So I was like, in my mind, in 95, 96, I was like, okay, so I need exactly $108,000 to get this car. So, I told my mom, that's the car I want. She was like, by the time you get a car, that Porsche is going to evolve, and it's going to be way more than $100,000 car. So, crushed my dreams a little bit, but I still love that car. I love that car. Great car.
Yeah. Do you know the story behind that car?
I do not.
So that actually is Michael Bay. That was his car.
Really?
Yeah. So that was his car. That was his car that he owned the car. I think that was the first car he had, or Porsche he brought with his money from one of his checks from producing.
Wow.
I can't remember movie he produced before that. But that was his actual personal car that he used in that movie.
Okay. You learn something new every day.
I learned something about that.
He had a fan here. I love that car, man. I still do.
Which a part of me when they had Bad Boys 2, when they went to the Ferrari,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, they didn't.
I love they went back to the Porsche for the 3 and 4, but I was like,
Yeah.
how you go to the Ferrari?
Ferrari, yeah.
Man.
Ferrari was just kind of. Ferrari was that popular car. It was the car that everybody liked, and a lot of people had. Like,
Yeah.
now, I do remember Jordan had that red Ferrari back in the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
That was clean.
Yeah.
I still didn't want a Ferrari, but I was like, I may want one. Yeah.
All right, so let's dive into it. We all know the movie Love Jones. I will say
Yeah.
Love Jones is my number 2 movie. My number 1 is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
That's a big dynamic. It's a real big dynamic.
All because of Jessica Rabbit.
Okay.
And if you watch the movie right and you pause her anyway, if you watched it, I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Love Jones is my number 2 movie. And I love the connection between just the two characters between Nina and Darius.
Uh-huh.
But we all know connection isn't true leadership.
Nope.
It isn't true just love. It just isn't connection isn't everything.
No.
And there's no question to that.
No. There isn't.
And it doesn't lead everything.
No. It does. As we saw in the movie, it most certainly did. It's hard because that dreaded gray area that happens with any kind of relationship, man. We like each other, but we don't want to put no title on it. But you better not be talking to nobody else because you still mine, although we don't have a title. So it just it ultimately leads up to confusion, which it did in the movie. And then from a leadership perspective, it could kind of, you can end up losing your job.
Yeah.
Just from a leadership perspective, you might, I don't know, you may have an attraction to somebody at the job, but you and I both know that, work relationships should strictly be about work. Now, if they develop into something, that's where that conversation has to come in. Like, okay, are we a couple? Are we doing what are we doing? And if you play them off with we're you my little sneaky link, or we just friends with benefits, that opens up another can of worms where a whole lot of confusion comes into place, just like Love Jones. So, it's very dicey when it comes to being a leader. You definitely have to have a clear understanding of where you stand, what your standards are, what your non-negotiables are, just like in any relationship.
Yeah. And that's the key thing. We think about leadership spans all facets: job, career, parenting, relationships. You got to have clarity. You got to have direction.
Right.
Intentional communication.
Yes.
And we know in this movie, their communication was totally off.
Can I just say, man? When she made him sleep on the couch, I was like, when I saw it, I was like, man, she doing him dirty. Well, I mean, they've been sleeping together all this time. Like, what's the problem? When I became an adult, I totally understood it. Boundaries.
Yeah.
Gotta have the boundaries. So, but that was funny though, because he was looking mad as I don't know what.
But he moves if you think about it, he moves like a lot of people move today. Laid back, just go with the flow.
Go with the flow, yep.
And a lot of times, that's not really good leadership.
It's not.
To just be laid back and just go with the flow, because there's no direction. There's no clear expectation on where to go.
Yeah.
And then people just assume and just make decisions or make choices.
Yeah.
And you get upset.
Right. See, when it comes to going with the flow is more situational than anything. Trying to think maybe good scenario. Okay, you just going with the flow. All right. We at the company picnic, and you got this big, bold presentation that you want to talk to your boss about. But the setting doesn't call for that. Like I'm talking about you got your laptop, you got everything with you. You want to put on this big presentation, but the setting doesn't call for it. So if the boss comes and talk to you, just go with the flow. Okay, instead of me showing this big presentation, let me just talk about it. Because the boss is now interested in like, hey, you got any ideas on how the company can be better? So instead of you just saying, well, yeah, here's my chart. And no, you just say, well, you know what, for starters, I think we could do X, Y, and Z. Boom, 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 boom. Go with the flow. You can't just go with the flow and it's like, oh, okay, so today we were, if you're in a relationship or situationship, today we were out and about in public. We got ice cream, we got dinner, we having a great time. Then tomorrow it's I don't hear from you. Okay, well let me just go with the flow then, because they didn't want to talk. No, we were just hanging out. What's the problem? What changed? So intentional questions, intentional communication is key.
Yeah. Because, passive communication often creates active confusion.
Yes. Ooh, that's good.
Like,
That's good.
you don't know what's going on.
Right.
You're just always confused.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And so we move into the moment because we got the other piece where, when she leaves.
Yep.
She leaves, and the timing piece,
Mm-hmm.
because she wants to get back with her ex.
Right.
Again, there's no communication between either one of them.
Right. 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 And her timing.
And it's avoidance.
Yes.
Avoidance
Yes.
disguised as timing.
Her timing was horrible with that. Like he just came like that. He came out of nowhere. Like what? What's going on here? And again, if we're upfront and we are we're precise and we're effective with our communication, her getting back with her ex is not even a thought.
Yeah.
If Darius had said, listen, I want to be your man, I want you to be my woman. Can we make that happen? If he had genuinely brought that up, the movie's over.
Yeah.
So, but to sit up there and to do all this and, get up there and spit all that poetry that he did. And then remember too, his homeboy said, oh, so y'all ain't kicking it like that? And she got with the homie. Now Bill Bellamy was wrong too, but that's a whole nother conversation.
That is a whole nother.
That's a whole nother conversation. But again, like you said, passive communication, what you said, passive communication leads to active confusion. Yeah. So Bill Bellamy was like, oh, okay, well, since you confused about what you want, I know what I want. I've been wanting her.
Yeah.
And so he just did what he did. And so again, going back to what you said, going with the flow, Nina said, okay, well, if we keep having this passive communication, I really don't know what it is he wants. So Bill Bellamy wants me. All right, let me see what he's talking about. But then again, Darius turned around and he was with, what's that girl? Nikki? I think that was her name in the movie. Nikki or something like that. Whoever she saw him with at the record store.
I know you talking about.
I think her name was like Nikki or something. And she didn't really have a real role or anything, but same thing. So she got all shocked, like, wait a minute. We were just, what's going on? So yeah. You have to be very, very efficient and effective with your communication, or else things just go haywire.
And on both sides, like no one took leadership, no one took ownership in this.
Nope.
And it just created a whole bowl of confusion.
Right.
Right. Somebody did create a book out of it.
Yes. That's true. They did. That's true. Yeah.
Nobody, it's like nobody say, here's what it is, here's what I want,
Right.
here's what we're gonna do, here's where we're gonna go.
Right.
It was just, let's just flow, let's just go with the flow and see what happens.
And I think again, what people kind of get misconstrued is that you can't go with the flow at all in these kind of situations. You can, but like I said earlier, it's all in different situations. You can go with the flow. Oh, okay, we at this restaurant, it's all booked up. Okay, well, we can't eat here, so let's change the plans. We're gonna go eat here. All right, boom, going with the flow.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times people mistake. Okay, well, he or she is so forward. It kind of scares them because one, it's not common, and two, it's like, oh, okay, well, they sound very, very sure about what they want, and I just don't know what I want. So that defense mechanism goes up. They put the wall up, and they're like, yeah, no, I'm good, and if the world was a little bit better at receiving the direct communication, the direct, or I should say the intentional words when it comes to any kind of relationship or situation, I think we'd be better off. Because one, the person has already told you what they want,
Yeah.
what they want to get out of it, and how they want to do things.
Yeah. Yeah, because as I sit where I am today, in the past, I thought the movie was all about bad timing. As you look at it
Yeah.
in previous Drae, current Drae, it was lack of leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Because
nobody took the lead.
Nobody took the lead. Because
Nobody
I
took the
don't
lead.
know if there's a such thing as, some people can say there's a such thing as bad timing, but things happen when they're supposed to happen
Yes.
for you.
Yes. Yeah.
So if
I
it
agree.
doesn't happen for you on June 1st, 2026,
Right.
then it wasn't meant for you to happen then. God
Yes.
didn't want that for you to happen.
That's right.
If it happens September 1st, 2027, then that's when he wanted for you to happen.
Right.
So that doesn't necessarily mean that June was bad timing.
That's it. That's it.
It happened. It happened when it happened when it's supposed to happen for you in September.
Right.
So you need to have the right leadership to be prepared.
That's right.
And what do you do during that time so you're not confused?
That's it.
And so when I think about it, it was just lack of leadership
Yeah.
throughout this movie.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
Even on Bill's side.
Yep.
Like the best friend, you should have held Darius accountable.
Right. Accountability. Let's talk.
Oh, hold your homeboy accountable.
Right, like, hey man, look, what you doing?
What you doing?
What you doing? Because in a minute she finna be with somebody else.
Thank you.
Lo and behold,
it could be me.
Yep, there you go.
But you're my boy.
Right. He could have been direct. Like, shoot, I may want to holler at him. But then he would look at him like, what? You what? Like, dude, no, for real. I mean, you don't want her, so
yeah.
I could go ahead and holler at her. And it's like, and going back to what you said about timing, man, it's, when it come to God and stuff, you have to, it's his time and our time, and you cannot, he's not going to rush.
Mm-hmm.
You can rush.
Yeah.
You can do all these things. For example, you can say, you know what, that executive position is open. I'm going out for it.
Mm-hmm.
You can go out for it. You got that bomb interview. But for some reason, you don't get that job. It doesn't mean that job. Maybe that job is not for you.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it wasn't the right time to go out for that job. So now you're stuck with, okay, what do I do? Do I just say, well, you know what, I'm finna quit, leave this job, and go do that go apply for that same position at another job? Okay, you could do it, and you get the job, but this job is not as flexible as the other one was.
Yeah.
So you can't all, and I'm not saying to just stay in one place all the time. No, because you got to move when God tells you to move, but don't be in such a rush. Don't be in such a haste to make a move just because things didn't go your way.
Yeah.
And tying it back to Love Jones, that's all they were doing. You know what? Oh, Nina tripping? All right, I'm finna take Nikki out.
Yeah.
Oh, Darius tripping? I'm finna date his friend.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still tripping? Let me go see what my ex talking about.
Yeah.
Instead of having that clear, concise, conversation of what are we doing?
Yeah.
What is this? What are we going to be? Is it me and you, or do we just need to end things totally together?
Yeah.
You know? So,
I mean, why do people avoid defining relationships early? Or just defining relationships clearly?
I think it's, I don't know. I really don't have a clear answer, but I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I think it's more so, one, people aren't so used to others being so direct and upfront because they really don't know how to react to it. So they kind of say the first thing that comes to their mind, or they kind of just brush it off and be like, or or the worst thing, one of the worst things that a girl ever said to me was, "I'll think about it." And either she really thought about it or she wasn't thinking about it at all. So, it's really, it's a tough pill to swallow, because you know what? People like to run away from the hard conversations. Just think about it. You want to run it, but I mean, I don't like hard conversations. I know that, but I understand as a leader that you have to have them. You have to have that conversation with that kid, like in my space, where you say, okay, listen, I'm going to have to pull you off this relay team and replace you with another person, because your your split isn't that fast. They're running a faster split than you, so I have to make this decision. That's a tough conversation.
Yeah.
Some kids are like, okay, coach, I get it. Some kids are like, yeah, coach, I get it. But once they leave, man, I can't believe, man, you took me off the relay team, and they can't handle it. But it's business.
Yeah.
It's business, and it's the same in a corporate space. Hey, we're gonna head in another direction. We're gonna move on from you because your numbers are just this low. I know you've been with the company for X amount of years, but we're not getting the same productivity. And it's just hard conversations. But I think what people have to realize too, what leaders have to realize, when you have the hard conversations, it's all in your delivery, because you don't want to just be like, hey, all right, you're fired. It's all, you can soften the blow, and the person can walk away saying, okay, you know what? They let me go from this job, but I completely understood where Mr. Hubbard or Coach Washington was coming from, because in the way they delivered the information to me. Not just, hey man, look, you're slow. You're slow. So we're just going to replace you. No. You don't have to butter them up, and you can be genuine about it too. You don't have to butter them up and be like, well, this, we love you, we respect you, blah, 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 blah. No, you ain't got to say all that. You can say, listen, your numbers have been great for the past couple of years, but they're not where we need them to be. So we're going to go in another direction. And even as a great leader, you can even say, hey, look, if you want to continue to stay on with us, where you're welcome to do that. If you want to leave, I know of some other places that would fit your talents perfectly. I mean, what can you say to that?
Yeah.
I mean, what could you really say to that? All you can say is, well, I wanted to stay here, but this leader, Mr. So-and-so, Coach so-and-so, has set up here and said that, you know what? They've actually found another route for me to go. Like, it's just like in sports, in professional sports. When I would watch Hard Knocks, when they would say, hey, we're going to cut you, put you on waivers or whatever, but, another team can claim you. Or I've even heard coaches say, hey, we're going to cut you, but, the Tampa Bay Bucks are interested. I think you'll find a good spot there. Like, I respect that, because my dream isn't being denied. It's just being deferred. So my dream to play professional football for the Baltimore Ravens, it's not going to happen, but they got a spot for me down in Miami. They got a spot for me in Atlanta. So I think in that regard, leaders can, I won't say save face, but leaders can continue to be more effective by doing things that way.
And in what you just shared, those are moments that include clarity.
Yes.
But how do you correct relationships or correct situations that started without clarity?
Oof, that's tough. So if the situation gets started without clarity, this is another go with the flow type of deal, because you didn't establish standards, boundaries, or anything. So now you have to go with the flow and see how everything pans out. And now, if it works out for the better, then a lot of those things can be mentioned. You can pull them to the side and say, man, you're doing a great job. Here's our end goal. And what you're doing is already helping us reach our end goal. That's if it goes in the positive direction. If it goes in a bad direction, you got to pull that person to the side and sit them down and say, all right, look, here are your expectations. Here's what gets you fired. Here's what keeps you hired. My apologies for not giving that to you from get-go. Because you can't punish them for what they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's on you as the leader.
Yeah.
So you can say, here, going forward, these are the standards you need to meet. These are the expectations. This is what I expect of you. Now, if they violate anything of that, then okay, you got to act accordingly. But if it's on the leader, if the leader doesn't establish what the vision is.
Yeah. And so we had to rewrite Love Jones.
Okay.
What scene and what moment do Darius sit down with Nina and course correct and share that clarity? Is it before she goes to New York or when she comes back?
Oh, it'd be before she goes to New York.
Okay.
Before she even talks about the ex.
Okay.
I'd be like, listen, Nina, you my woman. I'm your man. I don't want to be with nobody else but you. Here's what, forget about everything that happened. I can forget about you talking to my homeboy. I'm your man. You're my woman. Take it or leave it.
Mm.
That's the best you can do. And I mean, she probably ends up saying yes in credits. You know what I'm saying? But that's how I would do it.
Okay. All right. What else you got for the people to close out for this week?
Man, I would just say, man, you can eliminate so many things and you can accomplish so many things when the communication is clear. If the communication is clear, then there's not many things that can go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If things go wrong, it's because of outside entities. But if the communication is clear and the expectations are met and the standard is the standard, can never go wrong.
Awesome. All right. So again, Coach Mike, Drae Hubb, sneakers, cars, and leadership. And so I would say I will leave you with one question this week. Think about a relationship that you have right now and ask yourself, have you defined what that relationship is, professional or personal? And sit with that, settle with that, and then take action on it. All right? Enjoy your week. We talk to you later. Sneakers, cars, and leadership. Peace.
Peace.